Hey, this is Jacqueline Walter here, and I am the founder of www.discoveryourcalling.info, where I show teenage girls and young women how they can find their calling at a young age without taking strengths or personality tests. Now, in today's video, I want to share with you why I'm so passionate about teenage girls and how much they mean to me. I remember when I was a teenage girl, and I believe I was about 13 or 14, and I remember I used to be made fun of because, I didn't want to be involved in certain things. I didn't want to do certain activities. And I remember just even as an athlete, I was portrayed to be a different type of person from everyone else. It seemed as though I didn't fit in with anyone because of the things that I was interested in. And I didn't really understand, why I was that way until I became a Christian at 15 years old. And that's when I realized that I had a purpose and there was a reason for why I was different and why it was that I had other desires that other girls and boys didn't have. And once I realized that and I understood that it was okay for me to be different and it was okay for me to be the way that I was and to be interested in the things that I was interested in, that's when everything changed for me. Now, you may be asking, what was one of those things that you were interested in that was so different than most of the people around you? Well, for one, it was my faith and interest in God, especially when I became a Christian at 15. I remember when I would just be on social media and I would be wanting to share just how much I loved God. And so I started sharing scriptures and Christian posts. And, I thought, hey, there's nothing wrong with that because, everybody shares on, social media, what they want to do or, the things that they love. And so I thought, hey, why don't I just do that? And so I remember back then, it was MySpace. And, later on in life, that's when Facebook came about. But not too shortly after MySpace is when Facebook came about. And I remember just getting inboxed on Facebook or other social media sites and people telling me that I need to stop posting on all these sites about, God and things like that. And I thought, what's so wrong with that? That's a passion that I have. And I remember just being in tears and I didn't know what to do. And the only thing that I knew to do was to cling to God, and eventually things got better. But I just continued to share my passion, and eventually, those comments and things stopped. And once people realized that I was going to be me and I was going to do what I wanted to do and be who I knew that I needed to be, that's when those things stopped. And so the number one thing that I want you to take from this is that I did not change, who I was just to please everyone else. I did not change my passions or my desires just because everyone else thought that it was crazy for me to post about what I was passionate about. I just stood my ground and still shared what I loved. And so the reason that I'm so passionate about teenage girls is because I know that there are other teenage girls who were like me when I was younger, who, your passion may not be God, but your passion may be, basketball or swimming or drawing or, speaking, debate team, whatever it may be. But you're getting made fun of because that's what you want to be and that's who you want to be, and you don't want to be, the way others want you to be, and you don't want to be involved in those things that they want to be involved in. You want to be yourself and you want to be your own unique person. And I see a lot of, teenage girls especially who, follow along with the crowd because they don't want to be made fun of or misjudged because they want to be involved in these other activities. So they just go along with the crowd. And maybe even more on the negative side, maybe there's a teenage girl who doesn't want to smoke, but she's around a lot of people who smoke and are pressuring her and are making fun of her because she doesn't want to do that. So she gives in. And I want to tell you that it's okay to be different. And it's okay to not do those things. And it's okay to decide otherwise. Because everyone, whether they admit it or not, is different on this earth. We are all created for a different purpose. And I'm passionate about teenage girls because I want them to know that they too have a purpose. And they can find that here on this earth. And it doesn't take so long for them to find it. And so if you are a teenage girl and you are struggling to find your calling and your purpose, and you're struggling to live out your uniqueness and your individuality, then I advise you to go to www.discoveryourcalling.info, put in your name and your email address, get on the list, and I will share with you the tool that I use that helped me realize my calling and helped me to be able to step out from the crowd and be different and continue to share the things that I love. And so if that's you, once again, go to www.discoveryourcalling.info, and I'll see you on the other side.